Welcome back, everybody, to Mastering the Meta, the series where we take the most iconic plays, tips, and tricks from your favorite competitive Breachers teams so that you can enhance your own Breachers experience. Now, competitive Breachers has been out for around a year, and as it's developed, we've seen many different pushes, but there's always been some standout ones that you see constantly used. Well, today, we're going to be taking a look at probably one of the most common Breachers pushes ever used. It's the upstairs bathroom push onto Site A in Hideout. You know this one, you've seen it many times before, but how exactly does it work? Well, in order to answer that, I think I know just who to contact. We'll see when we get in game. All right, welcome everybody to the game. I'm GibularBob, and well, in order to really explain how this push works, I went and got some help from RE.START. We're currently talking with Shimmy Marui. I am Perimeter, Gears, and Fishy. But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Shimmy. I'm the captain of RE.START. We've been a team since the beginning of Season 1. Been doing pretty dang good, I'd like to say, between the last couple of seasons. Looking to keep going, keep this gravy train rolling.
Hello. I am Parrot, and I'm the entry of this team, along with Gears.
What?
And the idiot.
I'm Gears. I'm the main entry frag. Also help Shimmy a bit with IGLing. That's about it. I'm Gears. But that's his turn.
I'm Fishy. I'm the support player / flank watch. I make sure he doesn't die right away because of drone.
Awesome. So, I guess really quick, just before we get into the meat and potatoes of the push, just a couple of questions for you, Shimmy. First off, when should I use this particular push? Is it better to push to do this particular push if I'm saving or if I'm spending, or does it not matter?
So usually you want to keep this push for when you have an eco advantage, because of the nature of how family room / lobby, however you want to call it, is laid out. It caters to longer angles. So like all those windows that are off of the family room, you've got one that'll look directly into the doorway, but that's a decently long angle. Yeah, you can do it with a spectral, but if you're doing a spectral versus a rifle, you're going to lose. Same thing with the long balcony. It's doable with a spectral or a Taurus, but you're going to want a rifle because you want to be able to have that dominance on that range. So usually it's a push that's better to do when you have an eco advantage, especially when you have rifles. You can do it on pistol rounds, but just if it depends on how your team plays as a pistol round team. So if you play slower and with longer angles, then yeah, it's going to be good for you if you're a bit more of an aggressive team. Or if you're on a save round, B is kind of a better option because it forces those closer angles that you need for a good pistol, a good chance with pistols. The reason that it's such a staple push is because you're able to really cover your way of entry all the way up to the front of site without really any unforeseen consequences that you can't take care of immediately. The family room is a lot more open. Sure, you can have a lurk downstairs, but so long as your guys are doing what they're needing to and you have a drone to make sure that your family room is clear and everybody's watching their angles, that lurk can't do anything. The people that are, if there's somebody on kill box, they'll usually have 4 or 5 people staring them down. A 4v1 is not ideal to be in if you're that one. You can make sure that nobody swings out that door as well if you have enough people looking at it, which if you're doing it right, you'll have at least 3 people looking at that door. So it's a really easy to get into site, and once you get to the site, and then once you're at the site, there's a few different ways to split it, but once you kind of clear out the front portion of it and just make sure that you've got a good hold, the plant is free, and then the post plant on it is really easy to hold. Well, not really easy, but it's significantly easier than B site.
Right.
Especially if you have a rifle advantage over the team where they have, or over the opposite team where say they either have like a shotgun force buy or a SMG force buy or a pistol round save buy. It's very hard once post plant is done if they're at a man disadvantage or a weapon disadvantage.
All right, and speaking of man disadvantage, about how many people would you say are needed to effectively pull this push off?
4 to 5. you need most of everybody there, because once you open up that wall, not even talking about I'll get to the guy that might swing the door in a second, or the lurk that might be downstairs, but once you have that wall open, there's a lot of peaks on the back that are going to be looking to take off somebody's head. So you need to make sure that that can't happen, and you also have to make sure that those guys can't move up to try and kill your planter that's trying to plant on the sofa chair. There's a sofa chair that's tucked right next to the shower wall. That's the ideal plant spot on that site, because it's watchable from almost every angle of post-plant in family room and on the windows. So you want to make sure, you have enough firepower there, and especially enough util to be able to knock out those guys in the back, or at very least keep them at bay so that you can get that plant. Right. Even if you get the plant and it's still a 5v5, as long as you have the manpower there needed, you're good to go. You can do it with a 4. It's best to do it with a 5. You can do it with a 4 with somebody on flank watch, making sure that flank doesn't come through B site to kill box and take a couple people's heads off. But the more the merrier on that side. It's not a 2-3 person push. You need to really commit to that thing.
All right, awesome. Well, I think with all of that out of the way, the only thing left to do is really go in and break down the play, from the perspective of the players. So why don't we go ahead, hop into Hideout, and we'll get started. Okay, so we've opened up the hatch here. Shimmy, break down the play. I see we have a drone coming in here right now.
Yeah, well, drone died a little early. We kind of went a little bit faster than the recording kind of allowed us time for. So basically what that drone was going to do is just make sure master bedroom's really clear really quick, and then it's going to go through kill box, make sure kill box is clear. Sometimes you'll see here, I'm going to jump down, Fishy, stay up here. So sometimes you'll have people putting trips right here. You want to make sure that the drone's catching those. You'll sometimes have a person sitting right here that's trying to take that long balcony or take that window off. So that drone is to make sure that all of that is clear. Call out anything. If the drone dies early, then you know somebody's watching this. So you have this window right here and the long balcony that can peek for that at the same time as you have somebody dropping that hatch. This person right here becomes kind of very null and void very quickly.
Right.
So long as you don't have trips over there. That's what the long balk is for. The long balk makes sure those trips are dead. There we go. That leaves me clear. Perimeter is going to watch the window. Make sure that nobody peeks out from the doorway. So we're now closing in onto the site. We make sure nobody's peeking off of this door by keeping like 2 or 3 men on it. Gears is going to transition to the stairs so that we have coverage on that doorway again. And I'm going to make sure I'm tucked so that this guy doesn't just have my back for free. They're going to watch. We're going to get ready to set up. Fishy has our flank to make sure that nobody comes and kills us from B site. We blow that wall. Yeah, make sure that this is down. We'll have util. Oh, I can't reach my ammo when I'm sitting down. But then we're going to go ahead and chuck util in, make sure that that site, nobody can push up and get me while I'm planting on the meta spot. The meta spot right here is this little sofa. They'll make sure nobody can kill me with those, with that incense, that smoke, and all the fire that they can put onto that single area. You're going to need a lot of bleeps. After that, post-plant, we're going to set up. Having one on that window is crucial. So Fishy rotated around to make sure that that our hatch is good. Perimeter's going to go make sure that window is clear. Another meta spot is the stairs. If you haven't cleared up this flank, if there is one, might get you, but likely you've already killed him or he's rotated back to site. It's possible, but the thing being is he's still going to have to stare down 3 people. Gears is going to stay tucked there in case anybody just makes a sprint dash and I can't get him. So it just covers all your angles. Make sure that there's nothing that anybody can do. If you have the man advantage here, you still have a good amount of people like you should. There's really nothing anybody can do once that plant goes down.
Awesome. Well, yeah, so you really have all your bases covered, and you're really not leaving anybody exposed at all. So, yeah, pretty well set up push there, and it's no wonder why it's one of the most popular pushes that we've seen in the VRML. So I think at this point, why don't I swap over to the other side and you show me how you would go about countering something like this?
Yeah, totally. You want to make sure that you can hold them off from gaining control of this, whether it be stopping them while they're in here, or whether it be just making sure that if they cross this or peek this, they die. And then also making sure that they can't plant. Because if you get the plant right here, that post plant is super, super powerful. So, as you can see, we got a bunch of statics to just keep them from getting in. Because if they can clear that bomb and get to right about here, they're a lot harder to deal with. So having people on the back of site with grenades, incendiaries, and, well, guns is your best bet. The grenades are specifically, as Fishy just showed, for that plant. So you hear that tick go off, you give a nade right there. And you just save those nades for in there.
I see.
If you have somebody that's a little bit spicy, you can have them sit right on the door, because you'll hear that foam happen. Nobody's going to really peek this door, and if that person's really nice and spicy, they can go peek out for the stair pick, see nothing on the stairs. They can round out really quickly and get that foamer or somebody that's trying to watch the door. It has to be really, really fast though, because somebody's going to be watching you. So it has to be a really quick sprint peek to grab that person. Of course, that's only holding off the inevitable. If that person gets a pick, they need to run the heck back. That person dies, is what it is. Your big counters, your big holds are people back here, whether it be behind bathtub, in shower, or on toilet, making sure that they can get those nades, insins, all that util in to keep somebody off of that plant. You have to deny the plant. Dealing with the post plant sucks. It's not fun. So as long as you can make sure that that plant doesn't go down, you're pretty well set.
All right, awesome. Well, I think the only thing left now is for me to die because we've seen how this push works, and thank you.
It's your own fate.
All right, here we go.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Big Drill is right on top, what is this? And there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy from Streets, hitting the EMP inside. Oh my god!